Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. I am Madam Mona. This is your chapter 1. The title is Project Management Concept. Anyone who is involved in working on a project will benefit from this course. You need to know that what makes project successful are the people involved. At the end of this session, students need to identify different projects in which they have been involved. Students also need to identify what are the project objective was, what the constraints were, what the schedule was, and what resources were used. Can you identify any project managers in the real world? They may come from sport arena or music industries or some other area of interest. Since it was founded in 1969, the Project Management Institute, also known as PMI, has grown to over 350,000 members in more than 170 countries. Pennsylvania-based PMI, by far the leading non-profit professional association in the area of project management. It establishes standards, sponsors seminars, develops educational programs, has a professional certification program, and publish project management journal and project management network. It has an excellent website for project management. Project attributes. A project is an endeavor to accomplish a specific project objective through a unique set of interrelated tasks and the effective utilization of resources. The following attribute help define a project. A project has a clear objective that establishes what is to be accomplished. A project is carried out through a series of interdependent tasks in a certain sequence in order to achieve the project objective. A project utilizes various resources to carry out the task. A project has a specific time frame. A project may be unique. A project has a sponsor. And finally, balancing project constraint. The successful accomplishment of the project objective is usually constrained by many factors, including scope, quality, schedule, budget, resources, risk, and customer satisfaction. During the project, it is sometimes challenging to balance these factors, which often constrain one another and can jeopardize accomplishing the project objective. To help assure the achievement of the project objective, it is important to develop a plan before starting the project work rather than starting without a plan. Lack of a plan decreases the chances of successful accomplishing the project full scope without. Lack of a plan decreases the chances of successfully accomplishing the full project scope within budget and on schedule. Project manager actions. The project manager must perform a number of actions throughout the duration of a project. Prevent, anticipate, and overcome problem and limitation in order to complete the project scope on schedule, within budget, and to the customer's satisfaction. Have a good planning and communication. They are essential to preventing problem from occurring and to minimize their impact. Be responsible to make sure the customer is satisfied. This goes beyond merely completing the project within budget and on schedule. It requires ongoing communication with the customer. The project life cycle. The project life cycle has four general phases, which is initiating, planning, performing, and closing the project, which you can see in the figure on this slide. The time span of each phase and the associated level of effort will vary depending on the specific project. Project life cycle can vary in length from a few weeks to several years, depending on the content, complexity, and magnitude of the project in question. Initiating phase. In the initiating phase, projects are identified and selected and then authorized using a document referred to as a project charter. The project charter includes rationale or justification for the project objective, and expected benefit. General requirement and conditions such as amount of fund authorized, required completion date, major deliverables, and required review and approval and key assumptions. Planning phase. The planning phase is the second phase of the project life cycle. It includes defining the project scope, identifying resources, developing a schedule and budget, and identifying risks, all of which make up the baseline plan for doing the project work. Benchmark the baseline plan to allow for comparison with actual progress. Include the people that will actually do the work in the planning progress. They have knowledge of detailed activities to be done, and participation also builds commitment. Performing phase. In the performing phase, the project plan is executed and work tasks are carried out to produce all the project deliverable and to accomplish the project objective. Any changes need to be documented, approved, and may be incorporated into an updated baseline plan. Several alternative actions may be evaluated to determine the best approach to bring the project back within the scope, schedule, and budget constraint of the project. Determine if any sacrifice to scope, budget, schedule, or quality are necessary to accomplish the project. The cost of changes vary with the timing in the project. Generally, the later in the project that changes are identified, the greater the effect on accomplishing the project objective. Closing phase. In the closing phase, project evaluation are conducted. Lessons learned are identified and documented to help improve performance on future projects, and project documents are organized and archived. A knowledge base is helpful to retrieve the lesson and information that can help with doing business with the customer or other customer in the future. Project planning process. Project management is planning, organizing, coordinating, leading, and controlling resources to accomplish the project objective. The project management process involves planning of the work, which is establishing the plan, and then working the plan, which is executing the plan. There are many steps in the project planning process, as you can see on this slide. Create WBS and assign responsibility. A WBS or work breakdown structure is a hierarchical decomposition of the project scope into work elements to be executed by the project team and produce the project deliverables. You can see a WBS in this slide. Assigning responsibility involves determining who will be the person or organization responsible for each work item in the WBS. Sequence activities. The figure on this slide shows a network diagram that reveals the sequence of activities for a project. Sequencing activities involve creating a network diagram that shows the necessary sequence and dependent relationship in a project. Develop the project schedule. This table shows the project schedule for a consumer market study project. Developing project schedule involves determining the start and finish time for each activity in order to complete the project by its required completion date. Determine budget. Here we see a time phase project budget. Determining the budget involves aggregating all the costs associated with each activity and each work package and adding indirect costs and profit to determine the cost of completing the project. Execute the project plan. Once a baseline plan has been established, the plan must be executed. The executing process involves performing the work according to the plan, monitoring and controlling the work, and controlling for changes so that the project scope is achieved within the budget and schedule to the customer's satisfaction. Global project management. Globalizations add a unique dimension to managing projects. Different factors can create a dynamic and even unstable environment over the life of a project. Some competency can be helpful, even required, for a global project management success. Awareness and understanding of cultures, customs, and etiquette of the geopolitical environment are also very important to international project success. Finally, technology adaptation to international environment and use of good language translation software is also very important for international project management. Project Management Associations. The Project Management Institute, PMI, is a premier worldwide not-for-profit association for practitioners in the project management profession and individuals who want to learn more about the profession. Additional and current information about the Project Management Institute can be found at http://www.pmi.org. Many other project management associations exist around the globe.